YouTube faithful, what's going on? It's Flex Friday. I am in still out of town poverty situation. No green screen behind me. If you're new to the channel, this isn't the normal rodeo. Things have been tough. The live streams have been on hiatus. Players have been cashing. Players have been selling. That's part of the December grind. What's funny is people who never win in December are winning. And then someone like me who's had literally 8 of 12 months profit. I think 9 of 12 actually. I'm not having a good December. I had a couple good days, but overall, and now that I'm in an arena state where I can't flex, and for some reason, Hard Rock isn't letting me play on their app, I'm having a really tough time. 5 of 6 doesn't double your money. 4 of 5 doesn't double your money, so it's just getting a bunch of pushes. Roughly 6 days to turn this thing around, maybe 4 or 5 days, I can't remember. It's the 27th. 4 days to turn it around, and hopefully we can start today with Flex Friday. Again, sorry the videos are poverty, guys. I'm just trying to go through here quick and continue to do the Lord's work and give you guys a video to tune into, because win, lose, or draw, I'm showing up for work. It is what it is. With that in mind, smash that like button. It extremely helps me out, especially when I'm on the road and can't be in my normal groove. I do appreciate you guys sticking with your boy Crush, and I promise you 2025 is going to be a banger. You already know. So let's break this puppy down. The first thing we're going to do is talk about Yo Donnie. Hey, Yo Donnie! It wouldn't be a video without Yo Donnie. Did they bump him? Nope, they didn't. They still got him right here at 5 assists. I think he's at 4.5. This is the move right here. I believe he's going to land on 5. If you take 4.5 with any random prop, okay, you can see it pays 2.5x, which is good. All right. I think he's going to land on 5. It's rough. If you do take 5, he's likely going to get there. Do I think he can get 6? Absolutely. Look at the matchup here. I will show you guys today. I'm going to show you the analytics. I have a little bit of time, not too much. I'm trying to have a 15-minute video max, but check this out, fam. Head-to-heads. Played on December 5th, he had a 6-burger. Assists allowed, they're ranked 30th overall. To point guards, they're ranked 26th. To shooting guards, they're ranked 29. Him and Garland should be getting plenty of potential assists. He's exceeded 5.5 assists in 6 of his last 7 games versus bottom 10 defenses. For assists allowed, 6.3 game average. Why is this line so low? I don't know. My personal projection model has him getting 6, which is a half-point differential for the math impaired over there. Now listen, yesterday, my model told me to take under on Caleb Williams. 219.5 passing yards versus the Seahawks. I didn't believe it. I said, no, something's wrong here. The math ain't mathin'. And sure enough, he soared under. So sometimes you just have to trust the analytics, regardless of what you see, regardless of what you think. That game was total poverty, but here's his last 10. 7, 5, 6, 5. Let's look at the potential assists. 12 potential assists versus Utah. I knew he was going to have a big game versus Utah for obvious reasons. Only 3 versus Philly, but look at the blowout. And again, this doesn't even make sense because he had 5 assists. So how did he only have 3 potentials? That's obviously the data's wrong. 9, 9, 14, 7, 13. When the line is 4.5 or 5, we're going to need him to get 10 or more potential assists. Guys, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to look at one last thing. We're going to look at the market data, pull up Mitchell and see what we could see. Over 5 assists. It's 5.5 on every other book, so we're getting push equity by taking it on PrizePicks, which means it's going in the mix. And if you want, you can take his 3-point combo here. You can see that's pretty good as well. But I do think the Goblin is optimal. Either or. You want push equity, or if you think he's going to land right on 5, there you go. You're not giving up too much to get it at 4.5. That way you get the full cash. I will leave it up to you guys. Hey, Yo Donnie is leg number 1. And then play number 2, Joker. 12 rebounds. They moved him up to 12.5, so now you got to go the conservative route. I know it ain't crispy. If you go here, since it's now at 12.5, it's probably going to be juiced under. Let me see. Let me look. Welp, it's still juiced over. It's 11.5 on other books. His assist at 8.5 is juiced over. His rebound combo with Mobley, I think that could be good too. It gives you the 1v1, Joker and Yo Donnie in the mix. You get a little 1v1 action. But listen, if you don't want to take the bump on Joker, I don't blame you. I got another 2 options you could take. I'm not going to go into analytical detail on them, but check this out. Joker's rebounds, he's gone over 12.5 in 13 of his last 20. Now, this is not a good matchup. They're 6th in rebounds allowed. Remember, Mobley's down there, Allen's down down there, but check the head-to-heads. December 5th, he grabbed 20, and then last year he grabbed 18, same combo, and then only 10. It just depends, what Joker are we going to get tonight? He's failed to exceed 12.5 rebounds in 4 of his last 5 games at home. Hopefully he turns this around. The potential rebounds are there, 19, 15, 25, but let me show you guys another play that I like. Okay, the Goblin for Joker's optimal, 9.5. That's my favorite. If you want to take 12.5, you can. Either or, you can do that 1v1 with Ayo Donnie. You could go to his assist too. I wouldn't begrudge you a bit. Don't worry about the last 5, buddy. Okay? His PRA even? Yeah, why not? But looky. Let me look at this. Let me show you this. Peyton Watson. Did they move it? Did they bump it? Did they? 12.5 points, rebounds for Peyton Watson. You gotta consider this. Not going into analytics. Put this in, sprinkle it around, salt and pepper, 1 to 2 slips max. Get a little bit of exposure there. And then my other favorite Goblin on the Denver side is Westbrook's PRA. It was at 22.5 if you could believe it, but 19.5 PRA for Westbrook. 25, 23, 31, 30, 37. We're just getting flashes of old school Westbrook, and I'm gonna ride this train until I am forced off. If they're not forcing me off the train, I'm going with it. So Westbrook, 19.5 PRA, crispy. I like it. Those are your options for that Denver game. Now, the popular play tab yesterday all but swept, I'm pretty sure. Everything on the popular play tab hit. I personally don't really like to go over these plays too much. Sometimes it will be there because they're bonehead obvious plays. What's the value in me giving you all these plays that everybody already knows that are decent? That's why they're popular. But in addition to that, they're all trending last 5 or last green or red, and that's why people are on them, which usually means do bounce back or do regression. So keep that in mind when you make your lineups. But with that being said, Mikal Bridges, 16.5 points. This line is just too low. And then on the other side of that coin, Towns, he's actually on the same team, I should say. His rebounds is in the mix. He hasn't got this in a minute. He's due a bounce back. And his assist at 3.5 is crispy. If I could find it at 2.5, that would be my priority. Let me see if it's here anywhere. I don't see it. I only see 3.5, 4.5. I'm sure Parlay Play or Sleeper or one of those guys may have it, but I will have shares of his Demon at 3.5 assists as well. I think both of these guys are in the mix. The matchup, terrible. But for what Mikal Bridges has been doing, you got to consider him. And Karl Anthony Towns, for what he's capable of, you just have to consider him as well. Let's look at Towns. That rebound combo with him and Bedetzi is absolutely cinema. You could get in the mix on there. But yeah, eventually Towns is going to have that big game. Just like I told you guys yesterday, Kobe White, the wagon, returned, soared over his fantasy score. So did Scotty Barnes. I talked about both of those guys. Unfortunately, LaMelo Ball sold everything. He didn't get his RA, didn't get his assist. He did cash his points. The play of the day, Jordan Poole cashed. But you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is, guys. It's just been rough. It is going to be like that sometimes when you're trying to get different. You're going against the grain. Now let's look at Mikal Bridges, and we can see his points. It's 17.5 on Pinnacle. I'm telling you, this line is going to move up. His points, assists, and his points are good. He's been crushing it. The matchup isn't too good, but he has to be considered today, and I will continue to ride my Mikal Bridges train until they force me off that baby. You can take that to the bank, and my brothers and sisters in Christ, if he sells, well, by God, he sells. I'm taking it. Can't stop me. And then we got to look and see if there's any plus EV, and technically there is if you were to go look at these fantasy scores, but I'm not really too interested in taking unders today. But Darius Garland's fantasy score looks crispy. Evan Mobley, I told you guys, the Denver defense is just giving it up on all fronts. You could target any of it. And then there's a couple others here. Make sure you use code CRUSH. You get 25% off your first month. You can't beat it with a stick. DG Fantasy, I throw in 30 days of the cord. Get at me. Send that email. Captain Crush has got your back like a shirt. Now, the next and last person that I'm going to talk about today, which in my opinion, well, Jaylen Brown's fantasy score 2. You got to consider that. But the last person that I'm going to talk about today, well, I'm going to talk about 2 things, and I'm going to try my hardest to have an NFL video out tomorrow for you guys. But the next person is Victor Wembanyama. Oh my goodness. He's probably going to be the thumbnail unless it's a picture of yours truly. His line was 24.5 points. That was my favorite line. The The model I use projects him for 27. I'm not afraid of the Brooklyn Nets. Let's go into the historical data and let me show you something here. We have multiple options for Wembanyama. The only way I don't see him getting there is either some fluke thing or just a blowout or just some type of coach decision that limits him. I'm trying to figure it out, y'all, and I can't. Okay, check this out. Over the last 20, he's gone over 24.5 points, 12 of 20, right? Versus centers, they're ranked 15th. They're pretty much middle of the pack, but the truth is this, Wemby's matchup proof. It don't matter. It don't matter. In the last 10 games, he's gone over 7 of 10, 42, 26, 30, 42. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder, and until he decides not to play with a chip on his shoulder, I'm riding the train. You can't stop me. Look at this. I gotta show you this because like I said, this is the closest thing to a free square I've seen. 16 of 20, he's gone over 19.5 points in the last 20. In the last 10, 9 of 10, with the only exception for the Phoenix Suns on December 3rd. But you gotta tell me, chat, how does Victor Wembanyama not get 19.5 points? This is by far my favorite play on the board. I ain't afraid of the Nets. 20 points for Wemby when he's been cooking and booking and crushing. I'm going there. You can't stop me. So that's number one. If you want to take the bump at 25.5, God bless you. I'm going here, okay, where I know I'm going to get my cinema. It's 2.25x with any random prop. That's very, very good. And then you have other options. You could take Wemby's, believe it or not, 4.5 blocks and steals and 3.5 turnovers. It's literally dealer's choice. My favorite was his points at 24.5. PrizePicks said, we're bumping it. Then his PRA at 39.5. It bumped in real time. So last, I'm going with the Gabi points, the blocks and steals, and the turnovers. And let me talk to you for 1 second. Okay, looky. Let's go to the turnover. They're 9th in forcing turnovers, the Brooklyn Nets. Versus centers, they're 14th, but overall 9th. He's gone over 3.5 turnovers in 12 of 20. Okay, he's gotten 4 turnovers. Why? Massive usage rate. The ball's in the man's hands all the time. You gotta consider it, man. You got to. It's not gonna play at a fast pace. That's the only downside, but I filtered that out because they are turning over. They're forcing turnovers. I'm splitting my exposure and I'm taking that. And then on the blocks and steals front, this was cinema when I saw it. I mean, cinema. 9 of 20, which is still crazy, but look at this. 10th in steals allowed, blocks allowed, they're ranked 20th. Overall, 15th and 28th. So the blocks and steals could be fine, but he's gone over in 6 of 10. His last 5, he's been smashing. Ever since he's been on this tear, so it would be like this. Points, priority, Goblin, then the turnovers, and then the blocks and steals. But hold up, I think you could go here because they're not giving up that many steals, but the blocks they are. So why not just take 3.5 block shots? And then I think it's crispy. The last thing we're going to do is check the market data, and then we're going to do some rapid fire and get out of here. You can see everything's juiced under on him, which doesn't really make any sense except his points, assists, his turnovers, his points combo, which is why I like the Goblin best of all. I don't really care about that. That is what I'm going with. This is the 3 that I took, okay? So that would be my favorite Goblin. I just don't see a path. 16 of 20, 9 of 10. How does he not get to 20 points tonight? How? Or was it 18 of 20? I don't even remember. Let me look. 16 of 20, 80%, guys. And then if we look at all of 2024, 18 of 25. I mean, it's just a good play all around. You're going to have to pay some rake, but not too much. I mean, you're getting 2.25, so that's fine with me. Now, I personally need a big W. Like I said, I'm with my family, Christmas presents, holidays. I'm taking time off. I'm literally spending a ton of money. I need a big W, so I'm going to be going with my Flex Friday and hopefully getting it done. Hopefully NFL feeds again like it did last Sunday. The NFL games we've been getting over these holidays, Christmas Day, Thursday, all these things they've been doing have been absolutely poverty. I hope they never do it again. It's just too much. The teams are just not in it. You got to stick to the normal Monday, Thursday, Sunday. Enough. That's plenty. It gives the teams time to prepare. Everything else is just poverty. I don't care. Now for fantasy scores, you could go with Mikal Bridges' fantasy score if you'd like. That's in play. Chris Paul's fantasy scores in play. See if there's any others here while I'm here real quick. One thing that I did want to mention is yesterday, John Morant, they blew them out of the water, but I do think McCollum under 34. I took this yesterday at cash, 34.5 less. I think that would be fine. And then no Curry, so you're going to have to decide what to do with the Warriors, but I don't really want to deal with Kerr, so I probably will just, if I was going to take anyone, it would probably be Wiggins. And then no Luka today, so you have to make the decision if you're going to play Kyrie Irving. If you were going to play Kyrie, I would run it back with someone like Bradley Beal. His points at 20.5. He's projected for like 20 only 2 in the model I use. I think it's crispy. I think it's good. I would go there if you'd like. It's going to be a sweat. Anytime you put Bradley Beal in a lineup, it's going to be a sweat. And then the last person, other than Jaylen Brown's fantasy, which you always have to consider have shares of, the man just does too much. 38, 58, 38, 28. Don't worry about that. He hasn't had a good 5, but it is in the mix. I can't speak right now. Halliburton. Okay, and remember, if you want all my projections that I use, I put them live in my Discord channel for you guys every single day. I give you my plays, my slips. My role members do slips. They've been cashing people out. I also do live streams. When I'm in town, I do live streams 6 days a week, guys. So CaptainCrush.net, I do have the promo still for you guys. I think it's live for a few more days. Probably while I'm on vacation, it'll stay live. It is still promo code Curry, all lowercase, guys. $14.99 for your first month. Get in, join the crew. We have a good group of guys, solid top tier group of people in the mix. The better, like-minded people, the better. I teach you how to become a winner. Forget worrying about, plays to tell. Nah. We're teaching you how to become a winner. I've taken somebody that's been complete total poverty, losing every month, and teaching him the right principles. He just hit for $15K the other day. I'm telling you, the kid was lost. Now he has a winning process and he can cook. Doesn't win every day. Nobody does. But we're worried about the big picture. And the big picture is what I teach you guys. And January 4th, when I return to my office, all the live streams are going to be popping again like always. We're going to have an amazing 2025, so get in the mix. Promo code Curry. And then let's go back to Halliburton. The man hasn't done anything. He just had how many points, chat? 4 lousy points. I think his points assist needs to be considered. If it's at 25, it's got push equity. It was just something that I was dabbling in. Maybe 1 lineup max, guys. 1 lineup max. Now, for the newcomer around here, it's like, man, why can't you just give us the plays in a slip and put it? Because that's not what I'm here to do, buddy. I'm here to fine tune your process, give you a brief overview of the slate, talk about the data, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and get you to think about it so you can literally make these things on your own. There's no sustainability in me just being like, oh yeah, take these, go ahead, just take these 3, put it in, and then what? So what if it chalks? What have you learned? Nothing. You haven't learned a thing. But if I'm showing you the data and you can see what to go through, then you're gonna get value out of it, in my humble opinion. That's how I do it. I'm all about teaching you guys the right methods. I don't care about a day-to-day what could happen, win, lose, or draw. If the play is sound and solid, then get in the mix, and that's that. Remember to check the data odds. Remember to check projections if you're in the Discord. Mix and match. Don't just make 6-man slips, because that is a way to poverty. Yes, they do hit every now and again, but focus on having at least a 2-man as well. A 2-man, a 5-man, a 6-man. Sprinkle it up, mix and match your game. You can see here Halliburton at 25. He's 25.5 everywhere else. I didn't even know that, but that stuck out to me, and now I see why. It is too low for what he's capable of. And you can always go here and check the market data, cross-reference it with the projection sheet, and get in the mix. Folks, it is Flex Friday, short video. Here's the salute. Good luck in all your contests. I'm coming home soon. And as always, my brothers and sisters in Christ, let's crush.